Okay, I'm back. I spent the whole day obsessing over these hands. I did put them together last night after I logged off, and they didn't work. I had wired them up with these, or had this clamshell going on. Um, I made another one of these plates out of the board, and zip tied about 15-20 zip ties all the way around this thing, and it was so weak and it wouldn't shut all the way, and it just wasn't working. So I switched tactics and went out and uh, shot these things in the middle of the night with black spray paint. Uh, it was it was damp, but it wasn't raining, so I was able to actually get a couple coats on it before I went to bed last night, and they're dry today. So I basically obsessed with how to make these things work and be reliable and not break. So, and then I was also thinking about how am I going to, could I make them actually clap? And I started thinking about mechanisms that I could maybe use for that. And what I came up with is, this is just a prototype. It's super short, but I had this brass rod that was brass tubing that was just a little bit bigger than the um, rod I was using. So I had these ones that I had made that were too short. So I thought, well, I'll see if this actually works. And what I found was that I could move the if I put a little bit of a plumber's epoxy on this, I could probably spin the rod and attach that to the thumb, and it would open and shut and then you see that bend at the top there. If I made that longer, um, it would keep the hand stationary. So basically, when I spun it, it would make the claw open and close. But I mean, this is a lot of work, and I don't even know if it'll work. And I'm not really prepared to put a lot of R&D into this to make it work. So, but it's something I can maybe think about on the next puppet I make, or can retrofit Zoidberg later. I just didn't feel like doing it right now. So then I actually made a new hand here, which right now it basically looks like a Audrey 2 type of a thing, but it's posable. It's got two clamps here, or two pieces that I'm going to cover with foam. It's got the removable arm rod, which I wanted. It's got the elbow, the standard elbow that I put on here, and it'll fit pretty much in tune with the Zoidberg I have going on. The Zoidberg here. So I'm going to make another one of these. I'll show you how I did it. Still use a lot of zip ties, but it's nice and sturdy, and it uses armature wire, which is going to be a little bit more bendable and stronger. So let me switch views here. Oh, didn't see that coming. Let me fix that. Okay. All right. So this is the plate that has the tubing already on it, and I'm going to use this as my guide, so I do it the right way. So I want to have the armature wire on the same side as this, but actually I'm going to do this side first. So this hole here is where I'm going to put the. Well, actually, I need to drill one more hole. Okay, so this one's going to be the where the shoelace goes, and on this one too. Okay, so I just want to make sure these line up correctly. Okay, and then I only have so much of this left, so hopefully I'll have enough. I think I used about a foot last time and trim some off. So what I did was started here. And I left about an inch of slack in between the two. And then I just ran zip ties all the way around it and cut off the excess. Tell you what, if you want to support, or if you want to make a lot of money, invest in zip ties, because I use a lot of them. Oh wait, I almost did this wrong. So let me make sure I'm doing this right before I do anything. Yeah, it's got to go the other way. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I want to have it so that. Oh my gosh, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want to do it wrong. Okay. I want to make sure that the armature is on this side, because I want to put all the innards on the inside of the of this build. It's in with the foam, because I want to have a flat surface for the inside of his claw. And it's all going to be covered in foam, so I do have a little bit of wiggle room, but. And I thought I was going to cut off or not use all these holes, but I ended up using all of them when I did the first one. I just think it's probably better to have a little bit of overkill. I was thinking I might be doing some May the 4th stuff today, but I didn't. Suppose I could have terrorized my neighbors with C3PO or something. No. Okay, I'm gonna trim off all these extra pieces here. And I'm going to bend over this end one so it doesn't work its way back out. Okay, so that's one side of it. And then I'll do the other side. So what I did on this last one was I put it on, I did it the last time, I went in the wrong side. So let me make sure. Okay. So that'll go on like so. About an inch between the two. And if it doesn't work right, I can always chop off all these and start over. At least I knew it worked once. Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going, Laura? Glad to have you. I spent all day obsessing over these over these claws, trying to make them right. And I don't know that they'll work this way either, but it seems to be the best solution I came up with today. Okay, there's one side of it. Let me do the other side. Should have just enough of this armature wire. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Great. Almost midnight. Looking forward to how you finish this clause. Yeah, I should be able to at least figure out the foam on this tonight. I have some ideas. So I need to put a little bit more on this side because I've got to go over this thing. Just kind of wind it around there. If they're not exactly the same, they're not exactly the same. They'll be close. I think if I had mechanized claws, it would just be a gimmick that was used a couple of times and before it broke. So it really probably wasn't worth even putting a lot of work into it. What size type wire is the larger? It's just armature wire, and I think it's 1/8 inch. It's the medium. They have a really small one for doing like sculptures and stuff, and I think this is the medium of it. I know that I had a thicker one that was. Let's see, I know I have a thicker one here someplace. Just a second. Oh no, this is the thicker. This is it after it gets all oxidized, but it's I think there is a much thicker one of this but I think this is the medium actually. So it's about 1/8 of an inch. You can find it in the pottery section or the where you can get the Sculpey and all that at Michael's. So yeah, I put 12 zip ties in each of these claws. So for counting. Oops. It's really soft. It's like an aluminum wire. I tried to make it more like, I guess, a little bit more like how I usually make hands. In that it would be like just a couple of wire loops that were twisted around, but I just didn't think it was going to be strong enough. I think I'm done with zip ties. So I'm going to kind of feed these down through both of these holes that are in this thing. Until they're basically the same length. And usually I run a weird loop knot thing that I don't actually have to tie, but I don't think there's a way to do that on this. I don't want it to be super tight, but I do want a knot there. These zip ties out of the way. Then this is that tubing. It's used to hold up balloons. And last night I decided each of his segments of his arm need to be 5 inches. So I'm going to make 2 of these that are 5 inches. I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to have these arm segments in there, but as of right now, he does have all those arm segments. There's one. There's 2. I'm going to tie a knot in the end. I'm going to leave about an inch gap at the elbow, and then I'm going to tie a knot right here. Just to kind of lock it in place. I'll do the same on this one. I can always futz with that as it goes just to get it the right length. No, it's actually John Wayne. I am right in the flight path. When I got this apartment, I actually got it during COVID, so I didn't actually see it before I moved in. I had been to this neighborhood's, one of my friends lives here, so I had been to the neighborhood before, and he actually found this apartment for me. And then I hadn't actually I called them and to get myself on the waiting list, and then didn't notice the planes going over when I had seen it. But I got a call from the landlady about 4 months later saying they had a apartment ready, and it was the middle of COVID. I actually had COVID at the time, so I put the deposit on the place. 2 weeks later, I moved in when I was over COVID, and as I'm signing the papers, the final papers, and the moving van is out in the parking lot, a plane goes over, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, we're in the flight path. I hope that's not a problem." And I'm like, I guess it's okay. But it, yeah. So I didn't really know what I was getting into. Okay, so I'm just putting a pin in here to see how it works. Hopefully, I won't stab myself. So I think those are just about the right length. It's hard to do in this setup I have going on here. So yeah. I think that'll work. That was convenient to forget. You signed the until you signed the last paper. Yeah, exactly. But I've actually I used to live by LAX, so I was kind of used to it. And actually used to live by the Van Nuys Airport too. So I kind of go from flight path to flight path. Okay. All right. So let me get rid of some of this stuff. I think I'm done with the wire, which is good. I have the window open from last night. That also is helping to make it seem really loud. Because I was gluing. Yeah, I always think there's a scene in the Blues Brothers where Jake has just gotten out of prison, and Elwood takes him to the apartment that he's been renting, and that's right next to the elevated train tracks, and it goes by like 4 times, and then Jake says, "How often does that train go by?" And Elwood says, "So often you don't even notice it." And that's kind of how I feel like I am with the planes here. All right. Okay, now I get to figure out how I'm going to do these hands. I'm just grabbing every piece of scrap of foam that I have here. So I know his hands are basically this here. That's what I want. This is going to be, let me think about this. This is the end. I'm going to have this side be the inside claw. I may have to actually do this offline because I may not be able to figure this out, but I'll give it a try. Flatten this out. That might be easier. I'll show you. Maybe I can show you on this what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to start to get that shape. Ooh, just a second. Sure, my neighbors love me. All right, I think those are the shapes. Those are the shapes I'm going to need, at least for one claw. I think what I'm going to do okay. There goes nothing. Respirator. And I'm not going to glue this to this if I can help it. Or if I do, I'm going to do it. We're just going to tack it down. Because this is just the pattern. Okay, so it's not quite the right. It's not quite the right shape. It's close, but it's not quite there. This might work better as the lower claw. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some surgery on this to make it the lower claw, and then make a new upper claw. Might be a little too much. Or this may not be anything. So if this is the lower, yeah, I think I need to start over. I don't know if any of this is helpful to see all this. All right, I'll take a look at this claw. Let me see what you got here. Oh, well, I can't actually click on it. Oh, well, I'm looking. Oh, hey, Adam. Yeah, I did some research on my respirator as well. The one that my parents got me is not rated for for whatchamacallit, for glue, but the one that I got from BJ is. So I have to get a new filter for the other one. The one I had as a spare. Let me see if I can copy that. I didn't intend to share that that link, but now I've done it. Let's see. Oh, actually, I don't want to hide it. Okay, there it is. Maybe I can go on my phone and look at it. I'm anxious to see what you sent me, Dave. I'm probably going to make it so it reverberates quite a bit here. Let's see. I'm probably going to make it so reverberates quite a bit here. Let's see. Let me turn that off. Okay. Now I can't see your. Let's see. What did I do? This is all about me learning how to use these. This machine. Okay, show. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, thank you very much, Dave. That's going to help me a lot. Okay, let's start over from scratch. I'll make the bottom claw first because I think I'm going to do that. Of course, if I'd done that closer to the edge, I could make the two that I need for this. I do think I'm going to make a third wedge here. And again, I'm just guessing my way through this. Okay, let's take this piece. Of course, I threw the one piece I made here on the ground. Like the raptor claw. I may have to remake those plastic inserts. We'll see. Let me see if I can figure this out. That should be the inside there. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of work. That's okay, though. Everything is. Okay. I mean, this is getting there. Kind of see. So this piece down here, this will need to go like that. This is getting really big, really fast. So let's see. And it's only foam. Who cares if it doesn't work? From what I could understand, from looking up mine, it said you needed to have to use paint with fumes, acid something. I just want to make sure I reference this thing. Okay, so there's a huge claw. How do I get rid of that? Well, I don't know how I did that. Wait, there we go. And there we go. Okay. It'd be so nice if I actually knew what I was doing in all aspects of this build. Need to get some more foam. No, I got it. I have the picture. Yeah, it's right here. So again, I might have to simplify it a little bit or redo the hand plate that I have because it might be a little too big. But you know, I'll see how far I can get with it this way. It's all about kind of making it into simpler shapes. Okay. So I'll put these guys together like so.
Yeah, it got real big real quick.
But you got to start somewhere, and if you do it wrong, you do it wrong. It doesn't really matter. Okay, where's that? It's getting there. So this is where we're at now with this giant claw. I think almost glue these two parts together. And then when I have this inside part, it'll kind of make it work. I'm not going to do this bottom part just right yet. I think I'm going to make a flat piece out of craft foam that goes zigzags back and forth across that. It's a little big, but it's getting there. I can open it, claw like that, or I can close it. He might be able to hold a good can of beer. I don't know. Yeah, not a full one. This is a Diet Dr. Pepper, by the way. Yeah, so I might actually just make this. This might be what I end up using. And then when I'll make a tube for the arm that bulks that out. Probably just use a standard tube that I use. It's usually about a 5-inch round one. I may taper it up. I haven't decided. Well, thank you. It's again, it was because I needed a diversion that so I didn't have to think about that eye, and it's something it's occurred to me is trying to build it this way for years. I thought, well, I don't have anything right now. Might as well do this. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna try and take this off. Kind of wonder if I can do it as one big piece. That almost works. Okay, well, I'm gonna futz with this tonight offline, I think, and get it to where I can make a pattern out of it, and then I'll be on tomorrow, finishing these guys up. I'll probably finish one tonight, and then make the second one online when I know what I'm doing. Because this is pretty close to being there, but I there's still some questions, and I don't really know how I'm going to even attack it at this point. So we just have a hole there. Yeah. It was together for 3 seconds. If that's enough time. Okay, so one of these, and then the center. All right, I will. My problem-solving skills were fantastic when I was in my 30s and 40s. Now I'm pushed 60 and not so much anymore. I always say that I have to get as dumb as I was when I was 22, because I talk myself out of so many things now that I would just do without thinking when I was 22. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing when I was building the first melon pool puppets. I just did it, and it obviously didn't stop me from trying. So I just try and keep myself in that mindset of not worrying about it. Using the cheaper materials helps me keep that mindset, because I don't really start to obsess over it until I get to the final materials, and then I made that thing out of reticulated foam. I've got to use it. So. Get rid of all this stuff. Okay, well, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for logging in so late. But I'll have at least one finished arm tomorrow, and then patterns to make the second one tomorrow. Unless I get real ambitious tonight and do the whole thing, which I've done that before as well. But I'll try not to. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.